a chance, at least now, in the other game. That's the difference, Shotta. It's not that I think we will beat these teams. I think we'll probably start second favourite against 3 of the next 5 teams. I think Leicester are better than us at the moment. I think United are better than us. And I think Manchester City are better than us. Wolves and Leeds were probably on a par with Wolves, maybe a little bit better than them. They're having a rough time. And Leeds should play, the way they play should give us opportunities there.
Right, our counter-attacking game, right.
Yeah, but the other 3 teams, although I think they're better than us, we now have a chance. Whereas you would have said 5 weeks ago, we had no chance. So, in that regard, it's a step forward. Just the fact that you don't look at us playing. I don't look at us playing Manchester United on Saturday and think, "Oh my God, we'll get ripped to shreds." Mm-hmm. You look at it and think, "Oh, we could win that. We could beat them at home." But you look at their record away from home, and it's outstanding.
And they're playing better, George. You have to admit that they have been playing better football over the last month.
Oh, yeah, much better. Mm-hmm. And like I say, they're better away from home than they are at home. Mm-hmm. So it'll be a very difficult game. That's for sure. But at least we've a chance.
Yes.
I feel we've a chance. Mm-hmm. And if this had been 5 weeks ago, I'd have felt we had no chance. So that's an improvement. You know, you can at least go in to the next 5 games thinking, well, we could win a lot of them as well. We could lose a few of them, but we could win a few as well. Whereas you wouldn't have been saying that 5 or 6 weeks ago. 5 or 6 weeks ago, if you looked at this fixture list, you'd say, where are we going to get a point from?
May I remind you, George, that 5 or 6 weeks ago, you in this podcast, you said you didn't see a victory before the end of the new year, and then we turn around and beat Chelsea. So maybe as a contrarian, I should go down to my bookies and bet against you right now. But that's a strange thing about football too, you know, because I never imagined that Chelsea would have been so open and porous in a way. Well, my own concern is that they really do not have a final ball. They do, you know, they do not have a real number 10, and that's the core of Chelsea's problem. But that's their problem. That's Tuchel. We have to solve that. But it's, you know, football. Once you got that win, you notice how it changed our fortunes. I mean, our confidence will resume because we had just played Southampton, I think. And Theo said he could smell the fear. So, you know, a victory like that can turn you around. So, and we went to Manchester United sometime before that and snuggled out with a victory, that penalty, 2 shots on target. We'll always like to remember that. But Manchester United, I'm sorry. So if they come to our gaff and we get a win against them, this could put a wind in our sail.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's a chance. Like I said, we have a chance now. Mm-hmm. We have a chance to turn the season round and change the perception completely. Because don't forget how low we were. I mean,
George Renault.
It wasn't just us. It wasn't just us.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody across the board was panicking. Everybody across the board was thinking, we're in trouble here. Well, I don't think we're in no trouble now. Mm-hmm. We're definitely not going to get relegated, that's for sure. But I still hold my position. My prediction remains the same, that we will finish very much mid-table. We won't get top 6, and we certainly won't get top 4.
George,
that's my prediction. That was my prediction at the beginning of the season, and I've seen nothing to make me change my mind.
Interesting, George. You know, I was a top 6 person. My position kind of shifted out playing badly. I'm not sure we can make top six either. And I was reading something from the Arbino related website saying since 2019, Arsenal is not in the traditional top six. So you're not, both of us are not, not way off. I mean, they are statistically come up with a list of teams, which I won't even start. I don't have that article in front of me, but since 20, they say we are not in the top six since 2019, based on their, statistically. Okay, George,
Yeah.
let us draw a line under this, because we could go on forever. One thing I want to point out: we're now eighth in the table, but Aston Villa has 3 games in hand. Everton, who is above us, have 3 games in hand. So people should not get carried away. If Villa play very well, they will, they easily blaze past us. Chelsea has 1 game in hand; they're just beneath us. So people should bear that in mind. I know what listeners, some of the listeners, most of our listeners are very much in tune with what you and I are saying. But they'll say, "Oh, we're throwing cold water on our chances." No, just trying to be realistic. George, your final thoughts before we call this a day.
Yeah, my final thoughts are that we're playing better. I think we can still improve more. I think the additions of Partey into the team fit. Smith Rowe coming in and playing at the number 10 have made a big difference. As we said it would, if they played a number 10, if they played more technical players. And what you have to remember is Partey is quite a technical player as well as his physical strength and his ability to dominate on one-on-one encounters. He's also technically very sound. So that's added technique. Smith Rowe's added technique. Saka, Martinelli's back and fit, and he could come back in and make a bit of a difference. So it's better, and it gives us an opportunity to be optimistic, and that's good.
Thank you.
Just the opportunity to be optimistic, we should be grateful for, and I am because it was horrible. I mean, it was bad, but it's not that bad anymore. And it could be good going forward. At least we have a chance now. We have a chance with every team we play. And all right, I still feel we'll finish mid-table, but that's where we are. Let's hope that the improvement is sustained. We're bringing this new kid in, and if he's all that he's said to be, and I do remember when he was 16, all the big clubs in Europe were falling over themselves to sign him. I've no idea why he hasn't fulfilled that potential, but he was obviously a player that had that potential. And if he comes here and does something positive for us, and he can either play instead of Smith Rowe when Smith Rowe needs rest, or if he's that good that he forces himself into the team, if he's that good, then that's great. It won't do us any harm to have another technical top-class player here. Let's just see whether it works out, whether that's what he is or not. Because always at the back of my mind, you look at Denis Suarez and Ceballos.
Ceballos, yes.
There's a reason these clubs are sending them out on loan rather than playing them. We'll see. But at least he's a good player, potentially, coming in, that could potentially make a difference. So good. Let's see where it goes. But at least we can be optimistic at the moment that things are going in the right direction. And for all Arteta's faults that I think he has, not so much on the coaching side, but you can put them on the back burner. Ozil's gone. We can stop worrying about that. We can stop crying that he's not in the squad, because that's not a possibility anymore. as people say on Twitter, get over it. He's gone. And let's try and get over it. Let's try and get over Arsene Wenger not being here anymore. And let's try and look forward to a bright future. At least there's a possibility of a brighter future than there was just 2 months ago.
On that note, George, thank you very much. To remind listeners that we probably won't be doing a post-Manchester United pod. But there's certainly going to be a game when we turn up at Wolves, you and I will get together again. Thank you very much, George.
Thank you. Bye.
This concludes another edition of the Uncensored Arsenal podcast. Show your appreciation by subscribing to our weekly podcast and by clicking the like button wherever you listen. Remember, at Uncensored Arsenal, we believe the Arsenal way is fundamental. Free-flowing, attacking football by a club with integrity and class. Thanks for listening.